Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scavenger Life. This is episode number 464 at scavengerlife.com.
Deep in the COVID-19 bunker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feels like that.
It seems like the world is waking back up. Whether or not that's good or bad, it is reality. Here we all are.
Yes.
A little more educated.
Hands are much cleaner than they were 6 months ago.
In a world that's changing. Okay, I did not think I would be talking this long about what we're about to talk about, and that is Facebook. So our friend Amanda from Richmond, actually, she posted this on the forum, and it's super interesting. Facebook is supposedly going to be offering Facebook shops.
Yes.
Is the official name. I actually watched, there was a 30-minute video announcement by Mark Zuckerberg.
Was it actually him doing that? Wow.
I mean, it seems like there's kind of like the whole thing now, especially these younger CEOs, they like sit, it's basically like in front of their computer, so they act like they're just kind of hanging out, like it's super cash.
An everyday person. Yeah.
But it's not. Anyway, it was very, that's kind of why I'm talking a bit about it, because we talked about it before. I'm not on Facebook. You're not really on Facebook.
Yeah.
We kind of have some Facebook presence just to sell things locally, and that was something new to us. But we had chosen a long time ago it's not to participate in Facebook because it just seemed kind of like not a healthy place for communication. But selling.
However, I will sell.
Very interesting. And we've all said for a long time ago that if there's any company that could challenge eBay and Amazon, it would be Facebook, because they have the platforms,
they have the numbers,
users, and they have the money to be able to do it right. And Facebook, with Facebook, a marketplace, they started that a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
maybe?
It was a couple of years ago.
Kind of like doing a Craigslist kind of style. This seems like their real entry into like Amazon,
like shipping. I mean, that's what it comes down to, is you're able to ship.
And so watching the whole thing, again, not a lot of details, but basically they're like, you're going to be able to harness Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So I was just
about to say, look, Instagram, huge. WhatsApp, huge.
Right.
So,
and he acknowledged that people have been using Instagram already to sell clothes for a long time.
To sell lots of stuff, but
So they're just already harnessing what is already there.
Well, so right now what's difficult is payment and shipping. So those things are not like, essentially what I see people who are selling on Instagram and Facebook, you just do PayPal.
Right.
Or Venmo.
Well, they're basically just doing it kind of like Craigslist.
Just like Craigslist. It's like cash.
Like here's
a little bit.
Here's something, contact me and we will figure it out. And Instagram doesn't have anything to do with that purchase. This is a bit different. It looks like you'll have an actual store. And he actually had on the CEO of what's it called?
Shopify.
Is that what it was? I guess that's going to be a big partner. And the store is kind of a look like Shopify. So I don't know if like Facebook isn't actually going to run anything. They're just going to let you buy a Shopify store and run it through Facebook. I don't know. It wasn't very specific.
Right, and so what you said too is you were like, and I saw this on the article that she linked to. He's like, it's free. We make money on ads. But if a Shopify is involved, I mean, a Shopify shop just on your own website or whatever costs money. So.
Right, so again, this is what we're kind of parsing out.
Questions.
And people hearing this who really are into Facebook and this kind of stuff, they'll probably know more than I do.
Yeah.
But he was very clear that the way they're going to make money on this is ads. Because the assumption is I'm going to open up a Facebook store for my iPhone cases. And then I'm going to buy Facebook ads.
iPhone cases.
To bring traffic there. And that's the model. That's their thing. Because
advertising.
That's how Facebook makes money. They're not trying to start a new, different way to make money. They make their money by ads, and they're just trying to expand their advertising base. But like you said, and they were talking about, they were going to harness all these other little online buying companies to partner with.
Yeah.
So like Spotify. So maybe that's what they'll do, is that
Shopify. Sounds the same.
Spotify, Shopify. So, it's free to open up a Facebook store, but then you have to get the Shopify service to actually get all the functionality. You'll go through Stripe or PayPal for payment, and then you pay them, and then you pay all these other people. That would make sense.
I mean, look, Facebook has so many people. Like, basically everyone on the planet has a Facebook account, you know? So, do I want to sell there? Yes, I do.
Now, in their examples, they were just showing, like, brand new stuff, like brand new clothes or makeup. And
Which is so hilarious.
I don't know. I mean, and eBay does this, too. You know, eBay rarely, promotes the kind of stuff that we sell. So I can understand that, but I'm assuming you can open up a store and sell the kind of stuff we sell, just like...
What are people selling now? I mean,
weird, junky stuff. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who sell brand new stuff, and so, we'll see.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I would love... I mean, he did say it's interesting. It's kind of like the Meg Whitman thing where he says you'll be able to connect with customers through a WhatsApp, a Messenger, Instagram Direct to answer questions, offer support.
Look, I don't mind Messenger.
Right.
Like I find it very helpful as a consumer in the American capitalist system to be able to message companies on Facebook. It's actually kind of amazing.
Okay.
So Messenger, I'm cool with. It's kind of like eBay messages.
Right.
WhatsApp, I'm like, don't bug me on WhatsApp. Like, WhatsApp is like a whole different world.
Instagram Direct.
But maybe not.
I guess it's true. So it won't be like Meg trying to get Skype where you're talking to people face to face. It is just... I guess it makes sense. Facebook isn't having to make a new system.
Yeah, why would they?
To connect people.
Yeah.
You're just going to connect people
message through Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's...
Look, and if they have Instagram, synced to Instagram where you're like, you have a shop and it's called X.
Right.
And then your shop automatically has if you opt in, hopefully... automatically has all this going over to Facebook, Instagram too. So all the people who are like looking at tags and whatever on Instagram, that's like advertisement.
Yep.
So to me, those can be overlapping audiences, but they are very much two different audiences as well. So,
and it'll be interesting. I'm assuming buying a shipping label will just be they'll partner with stamps.com or something to buy labels or through PayPal or something.
Yeah, I was thinking you can do it through PayPal, but it depends on the payment schedule.
But the idea I'm assuming from what this thing is, from what Facebook's little thing was talking about, I don't think they're going to be in charge of any of that stuff.
They don't.
And it's smart. Yeah. There's already a pretty mature ecosystem out there.
Yeah.
And so they don't need to build any of this stuff from scratch. They can just bring in all these other customers or all these other platforms. It just means, again, like if I open up a store free, it's great. But then I need to pay Shopify and Stamps.com and PayPal and whoever else is involved.
Like, it's not free.
Yeah. Right.
It's just, it's the way to get the Shopify store in front of people, basically.
Now, the other...
which is fine.
Right. The other thing that I'm curious about, though, is returns and issues. What happens, if a buyer has a problem? Like, is Facebook going to have a whole customer service thing, or are they just going to, go to PayPal? Like, if someone buys an item from me on Facebook
they can
through
open
PayPal,
a case on PayPal.
They just open up a case through PayPal, and maybe Facebook will have like a rating system. So if I, as a Facebook seller, get a lot of negative stars,
then
I'll get my store suspended.
Right.
But Facebook is not going to get involved in each and every case like eBay does.
I guess my question is if there are other payment methods besides PayPal, because we know PayPal pretty well. PayPal is almost parallel to eBay, where item not described, item not received, et cetera, can be opened on PayPal.
Right.
And I've had to do that with people I bought stuff from through PayPal because I bought through Craigslist or something weird like that. And so does Stripe or Square or Google Pay have those same abilities? I don't know.
I mean, and the only reason why eBay and Amazon have, really big customer service facilities, reps, is because they want buyers to have trust in the system. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how Facebook figures out how to give people trust. Like if I buy something on Facebook, I'm not going to get ripped off.
Yeah, like if someone sends you an item and it's completely broken or not the item you... Right. All those things.
Like how does it work right now on Facebook Marketplace? Is it purely like Craigslist where...
Yep.
So if you buy something from somebody and they ship it to you and if you don't like it...
Well, I don't know because I'm not in the shipping program. Like they won't allow me to do it. So that's for anyone who sells on Facebook and ships, I would love to know.
Yeah.
What is the process? Like,
is there any way for a buyer to say, I ripped off, I want to send this back?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's interesting. I mean, I bring it up because that would be something we would get involved with, I think.
Yeah.
If they allow people like us to sell our weird products.
Facebook, will you let me import my eBay store?
Well, so they did say, again, a big partnership with Shopify. So it sounds like if you have a Shopify store already, they would allow Shopify to get sucked in or
I think
transferred.
Shopify can sync.
But we tried that once. I remember we got a Shopify account.
We did.
And there was something wrong with the way that they were importing eBay's
so they did duplicates. It was like they would do 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And I think this is years ago. I contacted them and I was like, well, how do I delete the duplicates? And they're like, oh, you can't.
Right.
I was like, what?
They were not interested. So, I think this was 3 years ago. So it wasn't forever ago. It feels like it. But I would also be interested to hear if anyone does Shopify and is able to import their eBay store seamlessly.
Right.
Kind of like how, what was that site called? Bamboozle, Boondoggle?
Bamboozle,
Bonanza. Like they actually for a while had like a seamless.
Yeah, it was seamless.
You could just connect your whole eBay store. It'd bring it. It would sync it. If you sold something on eBay, everything was great. And then they started having an issue where the syncing didn't work anymore. And again, once we hear from a rep where they're uninterested, we're like, we're not going to fix that. It's like, okay,
I'm done.
So,
well, the problem was they were showing my scheduled listings, which were not live on eBay.
Right.
And people were like, why is your stuff $10,000
right, that's right.
for this jacket?
Right.
And you're like, that's not supposed to be. Because it's worth that much.
Yeah. I mean, that would be my dream.
What's your dream, Jay?
Facebook. We open up a Facebook shop. We pay the however much, $30 a month for a Shopify subscription. Shopify has some kind of like eBay sync button.
Sync app.
You sync it. All of our 8,000 items get synced to Shopify
and
in
go.
Facebook.
Go. Right. Sell.
Exactly. Like that would be
sell it.
That would be like the seamless dream. Because I mean, as interesting as selling on Facebook would be, I'm like, oh my God, what if we had to just hand list things one by one? Like, I know people are really into that. There are people who are really like, their jam is cross posting. Like they're all about like, we cross post. And they talk about, I can sit on my couch while I'm watching a movie and like copy and paste stuff from eBay to all these other sites. And I get it. Like hats off. That's not the world I would like to be in.
Yeah.
But, maybe I'm just a dinosaur.
I mean, I have cross-posted to Poshmark. I cross-posted a bunch of stuff that I was like, oh, this might be cool. Didn't sell a single thing. I think I cross-posted like 50 things. Yeah, it was like 50. Okay. Jesus. I need to delete all those.
Yeah. I noticed we sold some stuff, and in the eBay
it said
notes
on Poshmark, and I deleted it off Poshmark.
Yeah. I mean,
I
really am just because of our life, the way we choose to live our life. I like just let's put all of our time into one platform. And I know people are like, well, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. But the alternative way to say it is, well, if you're posting in multiple places, you're spreading yourself too thin.
Time-wise. For me, it's time.
You're either getting frayed at the edges, or at least I feel like I would, and I couldn't keep that up month after month after month, because this is not just like a 1 month kind of thing. This is like, can you do this for a decade? Can you cross post that much? And I've seen it where people, they start getting into Etsy and eBay, and then they just start getting into Etsy, because they realize they can't do both at the same time.
Right. I mean, the other thing too about cross posting, when it's not synced, like Bonanza or Truegether or whatever, you have to go end all those. Right. Like if something sells on eBay, you better know if it's on one of those other sites, because we have had that problem where I had a bunch of books that I had sent to Amazon. I still have that problem sometimes. Right. That's why I need to do my book inventory. But yeah, you're like, oh, I sent that to Amazon and then I had it liquidated and destroyed.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So that would be interesting to me if Facebook really wants to grab a big part of the market.
Sync it.
Would be able to sync your Amazon inventory. And your eBay inventory,
Ooh.
Yes.
Zuckerberg, are you listening?
Yeah. And so I want to know, has anyone been invited? I wasn't clear as to how you
has it started, or are they just like, this might happen?
Yeah, and so I would love to know if you have one of these stores yet. Send us a link. I'd love to see it. That's one thing I dislike about Facebook, is that it's not an open platform.
Oh my God. You have to be signed in.
Like anytime I click on a Facebook thing, I don't have an account, so I can only see parts of it, and then it starts bringing up this thing like sign in or you can't see it. I
hate it.
So that's my problem is really like, why can't it just be let anyone see Facebook? Maybe I can't post a comment if I'm not logged in, but let me just see it, But,
well, yeah, sure. Ugh, I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about eBay specifically. So
eBay, we still love you.
We keep talking about managed payments because it's a pretty big deal if you're an eBay seller.
Yeah.
I
signed up.
Yep. eBay is forcing all eBay sellers to start to use managed payments by July.
End of July. Something like that?
Something like that. So we, after some very kind people messaged us, and we talked about it on the podcast.
They said, don't worry.
Yeah, they've tried it out. They're using it right now, and all of our nightmares don't seem to be coming true for them. So we just signed up just to sign up, and so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the process was not fun. They're asking about what your business structure is, what's your EIN number, if you're individual, or what's your social security. I mean, look, PayPal has all that. It's no different.
On the forum, there were some people who were concerned about, like, they're asking for my social security number. I don't want to give that away. I get that, but honestly, it's pretty normal. Like when you sign up for any kind of financial,
PayPal has that info for
like any kind of financial thing. And like I was saying on the forum, at this point, everybody's name and your social security number has been found, through all of these
it's findable.
Breaches.
It's super findable.
And I almost feel like it's not even worth anything anymore because everybody has it,
I mean, when I was signing up, I was like, oh, this is like a lot of information that I'm giving them. But then I was like, well, yeah, of course it is. I mean, it's almost like you're signing up for a credit card. Like they're going to ask you for this
because,
info.
You're asking them, you're giving them permission to connect this payment account to your bank account and have transfers and all that stuff.
Exactly. It wasn't a big deal. So, I did the whole sign up thing, and then they don't switch you over to it or anything. They're just like, okay, you're in line.
Yeah. So, and the good news is, if people don't want to do that, they can always just start selling out of the back of their car.
At a flea market.
In the muddy parking lots in a flea market.
Cash
all
only.
Cash.
Cash only.
You can totally do that. Like the Mad Max way. No problem.
Or Bitcoin.
There's always choices. I don't want to even do Bitcoin.
Don't even
because
go.
They'll know where I live. Okay. Okay, our numbers for the week. We sold 62 items, which is the exact same amount we sold last week.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know. Interesting. Although
that's a lot.
We'll talk about it more. We made $1,825.18 gross sales, not including shipping.
Love it.
So pretty good. It was an interesting week where there were a couple days where there were probably 2 or 3 days where it felt kind of slow.
Yeah, it felt slow.
And people in the forum were talking about, maybe everybody's $1,200 that we got from like the government is like petering out.
Not everyone got it in the beginning, just so you know. Because I've read some articles where people are like, oh, how to check to see if it's coming still.
True.
So
ooh, that's good.
I don't know.
Like staggered.
I don't know what the order was that people got it. Because we had talked to some friends where they were like, oh, I got mine in the first week. And it was 3 weeks later. And we were like, we didn't get anything.
Right.
So.
And we actually got ours by mail and not in
just paper mail, yeah.
Not in our, whatever,
it wasn't a direct deposit.
Direct deposit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, no, I hear you. It almost feels like after April 15th in regular years where like people's tax rebates come and there's like a flush of, it was kind of like the same thing.
It's one of those things why we read out or why we do our numbers. I don't need to tell them here, but I do anyway just for transparency. But why we do our numbers each week for ourselves is because when you run an eBay store, there's definitely how it feels. Right. And then the numbers are really like how it really is. So it did not feel to me like we sold as much as we did. So
it's those, the problem is those slow days, you feel those slow days more than you feel the busy days. I mean, I feel the busy days because I'm packing that stuff and I'm like, oh, I have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock. I have to do something, whatever, be somewhere on a Zoom call, like not going anywhere. But then you're like, I got to wake up early to pack these 15 things that sold. Like, I'm feeling that. But when there's only like 3 things, you're like, oh, like you feel it and it feels bad. Yeah.
I'm feeling it. Now, I do want to say, because I don't know if we really talked about it in depth. We'll go into a little depth there. We changed our handling time to 3 business days, probably
a couple months ago.
More than that.
Beginning of the year?
I think at the beginning of the year. And that means our items are no longer top-rated seller plus. We're a top-rated seller.
eBay.
But our items are not top-rated seller.
We don't get the
plus.
discount.
We don't get the 10% discount off of...
It's not even worth it anymore.
And I think for us, and you especially, since you're in charge of shipping, we just decided we needed that breathing room. And it hasn't seemed to affect our sales either, the fact that we're not doing same-day shipping.
And I will ship as fast as possible. Like, if something sells and my carrier hasn't come yet, especially now when things are a little bit slow in certain parts of the country for the post office, I'm like, I'll go get it. I'll go ship it, But if I can't, if I'm doing something else, I'm like, it can wait. Yeah. The other day, it was Friday, I had to do something right in the middle of the morning for a couple hours. And I was like, I'm not even going to ship today because I just can't do it. I don't have to, and I'll ship it. I'll ship everything tomorrow. Right. And that feeling was so great to be like, this is flexible enough for me to be like, oh, I'll ship them, just not right now. Right. It was great.
Right. So we are shipping quicker than 3 business days in most cases, but you have the flexibility to take a day off of shipping.
Or a morning off. And then
if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's...
I like it.
I just want to throw that out there because we were always so into, you especially, on your own. Yes. We're like, I want to ship as fast as possible. Yes. But it was starting to get a little frantic, I think,
Well, the other part about it was if you could get it out in quotes, same day or one day, you got 20% off your fees.
Is it 20 or 10?
It was 20.
A long time ago, right? Yeah.
It was 20. And that was like kind of a lot. It was like, if I can, I mean, I'm home, I can do it. Like, I'll make it work. That was
like, for us, that was almost like $400 a month.
Yeah, it was a lot of money. But then they were like, it's 10%. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to kill myself for 10%. Like, I just can't. Yeah. So, I love it. I think it's fine.
Cool. Things we sold... bunch of weird different stuff, just like a random selection of our store. Highest price was a vintage frying pan for $160.
What an amazing sale that was.
It had a bone hand, like it was real bone.
It was an antler handle.
Antler handle, yeah. Is an antler a bone?
Maybe. Well, yeah, it is, but it's a very specific bone outside the body. Like it's so this frying pan was from the 1800s, late 1800s. It was enamel and copper and an antler handle. What the hell? Like, where you see those?
And it was someone from Hong Kong, right?
Someone from Hong Kong bought it, and
full price.
Full price did not. I mean, our store's on sale, so whatever it was.
But I know it had to make off from it.
It did, of course. The funny thing about this pan is someone bought it a year ago or something, and they returned it. It's just such an odd thing to return because it's so unique and bizarre, and you're like, why did you return this?
Yeah.
I forget why I think they thought it was too worn. It had some scratches on it.
But that was just a cool sale again.
That's great $160 full price paid. Oh, I do want to mention something about Hong Kong because I have been using eBay Send, and eBay Send would not recognize this address in Hong Kong. So I was sort of like, this is a really expensive sale that I cannot cancel, and like I need this sale, right? But so on eBay it was giving me an error that was like, this is not a valid address because they don't have zip codes in Hong Kong, which is crazy, but I guess it's small enough that they're like, it's over here. So I Googled it. I Googled the exact error because it's a very specific error. And an eBay community forum post came up and someone's like, what is up with Hong Kong? Like, I cannot ship there. And someone underneath it was like, if you just put the number 0 for the zip code, eBay will accept it. I was like, yes.
And it worked.
Yes, it did. I was like, oh, thank you. Because it'll ship it. Yeah. It's a valid address.
I mean, this is a good thing to say to anyone that's new. Is like a lot of times you just Google a problem. Don't necessarily go on eBay forums, but
that's
Google
what Google led me to.
And it'll be somewhere on Reddit or somewhere where someone will have the answer. Probably,
That saved my $160 sale because I did not want to cancel that and be like, your address isn't valid, and they're like, yeah, it is. Oh boy,
we sold this. I don't think we talked about on the podcast. We talked about on the forum because we were trying to figure out what it was. It's like we first thought it was a shaving mug, and it still could be. It's like a Victorian, like it looks like a teacup, except it's got like a separator in the middle with a shelf. Yeah. And so I thought it was like you would do your tea bag.
Like a tea strainer.
And then you put the tea bag on the shelf to let it just strain.
I do want to say this. I thought that's what it was too. But in Victorian times, they didn't have tea bags. There's no paper tea bags back then. Okay. So in my mind, I was like...
They didn't have Tetley tea back then.
Tetley might have existed, but they weren't in Lipton paper tea bags. They
have Lipton tea. And then we thought... And it also could still be, it was like a shaving mug where you would have your shaving brush like a man would. Yeah. Or a woman, I guess. And you would brush.
And then the brush would sit on the edge.
And the brush with all the soap would be on the edge. But then you were telling me this other interesting where I don't know where this came from.
Well, okay, so I put it on the forum and I was like, what is this cup? Like, it could be... It's listed on eBay, similar ones, as all those things we just said. I went down a rabbit hole of like all these like old HTML like Angel Fire sites that have like collectibles, and I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It's a mustache cup. So look, Victorian time people had all this wacky stuff that was very particular and all made of porcelain and all had like pink roses on it. So, which is what this cup had. So dudes back then and now, because it's like revitalized, had like huge mustaches that they would like style. Correct. And then they would drink coffee or tea out of a mug, and that little thing would like keep their mustaches from getting all the stuff on it. That's literally what it is.
So in the title it calls it a scuttle.
The scuttle is a shaving term. Okay. So I saw some listed as like shaving scuttles, and they call it that because it has like a holder. But if you look for an actual shaving scuttle, it doesn't look like that. The holder's on the side where it like drains. So.
I mean, I only bring this up. It didn't sell for like $1 million.
It sold for like $20.
$28.
I mean, it's not in great shape. It has like a crack on it.
But it's one of those fun things that we enjoy selling because it kind of takes you down a rabbit hole.
Right.
You kind of learn about things. It was just in a box of junk, so it probably cost us a quarter.
Nothing.
And it's made us some money, but it's also very like emotionally satisfying to sell something like that.
Well, what was cool about selling it was that I spent so much time on the forum with other people, and all of us were like looking stuff up and looking up pictures and looking at weird sites and like going back and forth, and finally we were like, okay, we think we know what it is. Right. And then someone wanted it. You're like, oh, someone actually wanted this. That's so cool. Yeah. And if I see another one, I'm like, that's what that is. So now I know what to call it. So
we also sold another piece of this coffee maker.
Oh my God, this coffee maker.
If you've listened to our podcast, we have what's called a super automatic coffee maker. It's like a luxury in our life. We buy them used.
Yeah, I bought it on eBay, of course.
But it's like a little box, and you pour water in it, and you put coffee beans in, and it
makes you an espresso.
Grinds it a fresh coffee, and you can put like a thing of milk in it, and you can make a latte or a cappuccino.
Yeah,
it's really great. And again, we bought it used, so I think we bought our most recent one for $500.
Oh, $300. It was like $350.
Okay,
which is for us a lot of money.
Right. And they sell for $800 to $1,500 depending on the model. Anyway,
if you buy them new,
we had to replace one that broke.
Right.
And I was just ready just to dump it. And Ryan was like, let's take it apart. And we have been selling these parts for the past several years now, because I guess people are. And it seems like there are guys that actually fix these for customers, and they're buying from
us,
people like us.
So the interesting thing is, the original one that we bought it on Craigslist. These kids were like moving.
What brand is it?
It was a DeLonghi
Magnifica.
DeLonghi Magnifica. It's a very good machine. We just never. I think we never descaled it.
We didn't
never
really know how to this. Yeah, anyway.
Something went wrong on the inside because we were not cleaning it properly. But we spent $100 on that, which to me, I was like, I remember, I couldn't believe. I was like, how much are you paying? What are you doing?
I jumped at it. I was like, are you serious?
It's so funny. So we loved it, but it died, and so then we bought this other one that was $350. So that's $450 out the door.
Right. I
have sold so much of those parts. I have sold the screws. Yep. I mean, like, I have sold the tiniest things that paid for, and we made a profit.
Right.
So this is paid. This coffee maker is paid.
We still have like 8 more parts to sell of this thing. So like this one we sold this week, it was just a.
It was the side panel.
It was just like a side panel.
That's it.
And it sold for $24, which is
But great. If the side panel's cracked,
right.
I mean, if you're going to resell that or whatever, I mean, you want that to look nice.
So I'm just teeing up another topic. So we have like an eBay storage building that's just for clothes. So it's, it's an insulated storage. It's not like our warehouse. It's not really insulated.
In quotes, it's climate controlled.
Right. It's climate controlled because we have a dehumidifier down there. Right. The dehumidifier stopped working.
Yeah.
Ryan found that out. We took it down, and Ryan found that the
coils.
The coil started to leak.
The refrigerant started leaking out, and that's hard to fix.
And again, I was ready to be like, well, let me take it to the dump, throw it in a big hole, and we'll just cover it up. And you were like, let me take it apart.
I parted out the dehumidifier, and then partly it's because I was thinking, oh, what if I need to replace one of these parts? Like, what if I take it apart and figure out... I don't know how I would figure that out, but... So I was I was checking on eBay, the model, and I was like, oh, people put these parts up.
Yep.
This is a common dehumidifier that people repair. So I was like, get the screwdriver out.
And we were when we were thinking maybe we could fix this ourselves before we saw that it was a leak in the coil.
In the coil, yeah.
There were YouTube videos of guys who were fixing their own, and it would be like like some little switch or
on the circuit board a lot of time
capacitor or something.
That's beyond that's beyond what I'm capable. I'm just like, when it comes to circuit boards, I don't know.
But there did seem ways for people to be able to fix them, and so
like if they need another switch, well, I have one.
And it was just good to see that there's a community of people that are willing to fix these things. Because the dehumidifier can be over $100.
It's expensive.
So we'll see. It's going to be an experiment. Instead of throwing things away, we'll.
I like the idea of parting it out. If I can't fix it, I'm like, look, some of those parts on that dehumidifier, they might be a little dirty. Like they're not.
And we did interview that guy. It's been a while now. I think he was up in Canada, and he was parting out like appliances. Yes. He would pick up old washer and dryers and refrigerators, and he would part those things out and sell them on eBay. And so
I mean, there have been times where, like with this dehumidifier, we bought it at an estate sale for $20. It worked for like 2 years, and so if I sell one part for $20 and then I have 10 more parts, that's amazing.
Bonus. I mean, we've talked about it in our rentals. Sometimes one of the shelves might break or crack or something, and those are really expensive to buy. Like the shelf or the little side thing that holds like the ketchup and a mustard.
In a refrigerator? Oh my God.
Right.
Like, so if you go on like repairclinic.com or Sears appliance parts, whatever it's called, I mean, like they have parts for everything. And the great thing is sometimes they won't have parts available, and you're like, well, I have it. Yeah. So someone's going to look for it on eBay. Right. So that's what I do to find the part numbers and the names. Because a lot with the DeLonghi, I was like, I have no idea what this part is called. I don't even know if it's like 4 parts put together. But I would just look it up and just see if I could figure it out.
I wonder if there are people who go deep into that and just buy old appliances and part them out, and they have like a warehouse full of like all these little parts in little baggies.
I've seen them on eBay. I've seen them on eBay because I've looked for parts. Right. You know, I've researched part names for these things, and you'll be like, oh, what's this person selling?
But do you think that they're scavenging from old appliances, or that they're just buying wholesale or buying out hardware stores full of like these parts?
That's a good question.
That's my question.
Because my parts are used, and their parts might be.
It would be cooler to me.
That's a good question.
If they're parting out old appliances versus just, they're just, they're like this one guy, old dad on the forum. He sells car parts. Right. And I'm not saying he's not cool. He is cool, but he's selling. Is he doing
wholesale?
Yeah, he's doing car parts where I believe, and he can correct me, he's buying, wholesale car parts, or he'll buy out like an auto parts store that goes out of business.
That certainly makes it easier.
He's not like buying old cars and parting them out.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on if it says new or used. I mean, then you can tell if it's used, it came out of a thing. I like parting things out. I really do. Look, you can sell the screws from things. Yeah. Because if you're like, okay, this part broke off, and these are really specific screws. Yep.
I'll end with this, and it's real quick. With IKEA, we buy IKEA furniture for our rentals because it looks nice, it's affordable, and there is some IKEA furniture that's actually pretty good quality. We always end up with like some extra parts, little brackets or extra hardware. Screws. We always list that stuff, and
it always sells. Yeah. I'm not talking about the Allen wrench, I'm not talking about that. But like we got some shelves the other day. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm going to sell, not the other day. Sorry. It was a while ago. What year is it? I don't know. It was just these extra little brackets and like side things that you screw onto the wall. And I'm like, I know that somebody got theirs on Craigslist and don't have these and they need them. And it's true.
And they always sell.
They always sell. Yep. So don't throw that stuff away.
Customer issues. It felt like we had a bunch of returns this week. I think we had like 4 returns. Yeah. And honestly, in the end of the day, it's kind of just normal for selling as much as we have been lately. Yeah. It was kind of a wave of returns from the past couple weeks.
And you know what? Most of them were just people saying, this didn't fit, or I just didn't like the color. Right. Like it was nothing.
Right.
Nothing personal.
But it does kind of stink because, you get these 4 and then you refund
all that money.
So it's like
$200.
So it's like a whole day's profit goes back out the window.
But then, honestly, look, I relist stuff and then it sells. Yeah. Like, that happens. Right. You're like, oh, I just got that back,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's all.
What can you do?
It's just part of the game. Hate the game, not the player, right?
Don't hate anything.
Don't hate anything. Okay, let's go to the comments or questions that people sent in this week.
Okay, you can email us an audio file. Our email is thescavengerlife@gmail.com, or you can call our voicemail line. The phone number is 540-407-8486. You have 3 minutes to leave a message.
Hi, guys. It's Kenny from St. Louis, and calling in to mention something about managed payments that I don't know if you're aware of or not. When they switch over, they're going with Apple Pay in a bundle of ways that you can pay. And apparently Apple Pay does not allow a number of items to be purchased. And so those items are effectively going to not be on the site anymore. And that includes paper money, coins, and there's gift certificates, I believe tickets to sporting events and stuff. All that stuff's not going to be sellable on eBay. So a lot of coin shops and stuff that knew about this ahead of time have already pulled all their stuff. But like for me, I've had a few silver coins sitting around and stuff that I've been in my death pile that I haven't gotten around to. So I'm making sure to get all that stuff up. There's a post on the forums that goes over it a little bit, but the eBay's really kind of hiding the lead on this and not telling anybody. So love the show. Thanks for all you do. Bye.
So he is saying that there are some items you won't be able to sell through managed payment?
Through eBay at all.
Oh, through eBay at all.
So it seems weird to me that if it's just Apple Pay that doesn't allow to buy coins, that you would just be like, oh, you want to buy a silver coin? You got to use your debit card.
Right. Or PayPal or something.
Because to take this is what confuses me, right? It's easy to say, oh, you're just not going to be able to buy that on eBay. Would eBay really not want that market? Because that's a huge...
Like take
silver and gold?
Yeah. I mean, the way I understood it, because I did see people talk about on the forum, I mean, no one really knows. Yeah. But like you say, the assumption is right now, their managed payment can't handle it, but you would hope that they're working out a way to do it. Because for a while there, if you were in managed payments, you couldn't ship through global shipping.
Right.
Then they fixed that. And I just feel like maybe they're just working out these issues, whether it be legal issues or whatever else.
Or technical issues.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is, on eBay's part, a stupid move.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh, you just can't sell gold and silver anymore.
Let's not jump to that conclusion.
I mean, that would be crazy.
Right, yeah. So
yes, I agree. I mean, what could happen is people who have those kinds of listings just won't be pushed into managed payments yet. I mean, could that be?
I don't know. I mean, I wish eBay, I feel like, is not always the most transparent.
Yeah.
Although now there's that one guy that seems to be like, they're kind of like, their guy that talks to eBay sellers was Jordan.
Jordan, are you listening?
Everyone knows Jordan because he seems like, I guess he was a seller at one point or something. I don't know. People seem to like him. Yeah. But, just someone should just talk about this stuff. Like, yeah, we're working on it, Or, nope, you can never sell gold coins ever again on eBay, and just be clear with people. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it's crazy that sellers would take their stuff down because that's a pain for everybody.
I would love to be able to have gold coins to sell.
Oh my God. I wish I was selling gold coins.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I can remember one time I got a gold coin like for some graduation present or something as a kid. I remember when we moved to Virginia, we
found it.
We were pretty broke.
And found it.
I found it and we sold it on eBay.
We sold it on eBay. And gold wasn't worth... How much was it worth?
It was like $900.
It was like $900, $1,000, yeah.
And now I don't know how much.
And I shipped it in a little padded envelope. Yeah. It had tracking. It's just funny. You're like, this is worth more than my car. Right. It's weird.
But that was good money.
Yeah.
Okay, that is it. We do want to mention, if you're interested in some coffee.
Delicious coffee.
We are our friends at broadporch.coffee are selling coffee. They have a coupon code SL10
for 10%.
If you want to get 10% off. And they actually have a subscription model too. So if you just want to like
it's auto.
Subscribe, get it every 2 weeks or
Don't
whatever.
even think about it.
And Phil, who does the roasting of the coffee, he's really big on fresh coffee. So he like sometimes I want to buy some coffee from him. I enjoy stocking up. I'm just buy a bunch of it. He's like, why don't you just drink this?
And then I'll give you more.
I'll give you more fresh. So he's really into fresh.
It was really cute because the last time we talked to him, he was like, no.
Right.
You're not going to buy 10 pounds. I want you to buy it fresh.
Right. And it's Phil and Jill at broadporch.coffee. They're good people. We're still working with them on shipping. Some people have been messaging
We're all
us,
shipping nerds.
Can they do free shipping? And it's tough.
Can they do a flat rate to Canada? That was a question this week.
Because coffee is fairly heavy. It's basically, it's like a pound, 2 pounds. And so there's a cost to that. And so, how do you build in shipping? And again, we're all people that ship. It's like shipping is never free.
Look, I struggle with that.
So either it's free shipping and the coffee just costs more, or the coffee costs what it costs
and we pay for shipping
plus shipping. So
we're figuring it out.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe we could do a thing like if you buy a certain, like Troy TSAT actually had a good suggestion. Like, what happens if you buy a certain amount of coffee
and then it's free?
Then it's free.
Amazon Prime model.
Like it's $50 or something like that. Or if I do a subscription, can I get a free? Yeah, I don't know. We are not officially their partners yet.
Yeah,
we're just working that out right now.
Yeah,
where we're going to combine forces, but we want to support them anyway.
Broadporch.coffee.
Yep. All right. That is it for this week. You can check out our blog at scavengerlife.com. That's where our forum is.
/forum.
Yep. You can join. So the way it works is we're really into no spam. I can't remember the last time we ever had spam on our site. Although I know that frustrates some people because it's a
tight system.
Filter.
I know.
So you join, then you send us a message, and then we put you in there.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it. That's how it goes.
Yeah. You can call and leave a question or comment like our friend did today about the gold coins.
The phone number is 540-407-8486. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. Right. I mean, and it doesn't have to be a question just like that, a comment, something like that. Like if you know about Facebook shops.
Yeah, call in.
If Mark and you are friends, tell us about it.
We are on a first name basis.
We post an episode every Monday morning. Wednesdays is when Steve will put up his What Sold videos, which are always fun.
Stevie and the doggies.
Okay, that is it. This podcast is ending in 3, 2, 1.
Stay safe. Bye.